Hello everybody. Well, I got one for you today. We're fixing to do a little fiddling on and see how it runs. I'm getting my people mixed up a little bit every once in a while. This one is for Russell Gorley, and the other one I was talking about the other day, I thought it was I was talking to his son or something, but I got confused, and that one was for Lucas Kessel. Lucas, yours is on the way. UPS picked it up yesterday. So we're not going to take a lot of time because there's a good bit of stuff on this one, and I want to get as much of it in as I can. So without further ado, or accredited university shot, or whatever. This is a pretty nice 064 with a 3/4 right bar on it. Now this piece back here is broke off. We're going to be fixing this thing up for Russell. So we're going to we'll cut that off back yonder. It's cracked down the side here, and instead of leaving it like that, I'm probably gonna smooth it up and see if I can't straighten her out a bit. This thing was a little bit on the dirty side. That's my last paper towel. It's been sitting for, I think he said 8 years. So we're going to see about getting this cleaned up and ready to go, but I got to get some towels and stuff, so give me just a minute. Alright, we're back. I had a phone call and a couple other things. I started taking screws out before I remembered I wasn't filming. So I took the screws out of this. I stopped and I was like, wait a minute, I have to film this. So Mama called to ask what we wanted to have for supper tonight. I told her I wasn't sure, so we was talking about that for a minute. But what I was saying about this is a pretty nice 064. So it's been sitting for a long time. Something about the muffler had cracked and it burnt something up, and they'd replaced it, and it hadn't ran right since they changed the muffler on it. I can't remember all of it. I read what he got. I sent him a message for him to message me back, so I could try to remember what all we was going to do. But what we're going to do right now is we're going to tear it apart and have a look at the muffler and stuff like that, because he said the muffler didn't fit right or something. There is a screw not in the muffler. For some reason it doesn't look like it will line up, but we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. We'll figure it out one way or another. There we go. Yeah, that don't exactly line up for some reason. I don't know why. It'll line. There'll be a bolt in there when we get done, one way or another. Yep. We're going to work on that muffler. I don't know whether I'll film all of that. The cylinder looks pretty good. Piston looks pretty good. There's a little bit of a little metal spot in there, like somebody's. They drilled that while it was recently or something. I don't know. I'll pull this side cover off, just chuck this in the bucket over here that way. That way this ain't part of what's in our way. We only have one set of dogs to stab us. That just fell out of there. That hose strip, that screw's a little bit too short. Now we'll see if we can find a longer one to go in, because just the first part of the hose stripped. So yeah, he said it didn't fire up when they tried to crank it, so I don't know exactly what the deal is with that. Spark plugs wore out. Tip threads is wore out on it, so we just want to get in here and have a look, you see, and see what's in here, because I don't know. We're going to use the pull start assist. Don't sound too bad. We're just going to stick this plug in here and see if we get any fire. Maybe y'all can see that. Fire. It's erratic. A little bit on the end of that plug. The plug's probably really dirty. It looks like it's been in there for a while. So, alright. It feels like it has good compression and everything. So, let's figure out what we're going to do with it. I'll bring you back. Alright. One of the first things I did, see them two shiny spots? I drilled through the spot welds, and I just took my little Dremel and cut down the sides and popped that rascal out of there. Number one, that has to go. We're going to make this muffler fit on here like it should, or at least as close as we can get it to, since it's not exactly the right muffler. When I get done with it, it'll be on there a lot better than it was, I'll guarantee you that. And it'll run better too. It didn't take long to do that. It's just filming some of this stuff's kind of hard to do, because I don't exactly know what I'm doing to start with. I just go at it and see what happens. But it came out good. It came out real good. I mean, it came out way easier than I thought it would. I was going to just drill them and trim up both sides, and I was going to hit it from the back, but I didn't have to. Once I cut up through it just fell right out. So we got that going for us. Now, it doesn't fit exactly right. Hold on, I got a phone call. Alright. I don't know if y'all can see this, but this is a piece of 1/8 inch plate. This is the exhaust gasket. This is what's going to become the exhaust gasket. This muffler is standing off the cylinder just a little bit, and it was cocked. Well, with the I don't know if y'all can see any of this or not, but with the muffler bolted on, the holes basically line up. They're just a little bit shy. I need to raise the roof of the exhaust port just a hair and raise these holes up just a smidge. And this plate is just about the perfect thickness that when I put it in there, it's going to basically set flat against it. What I did is you bolt the muffler on, and what did I do with it? Did I done put it back up? There's two ways you can do this. You can take your piece of plate and try to stick it down in here, and right there is what I've done. The muffler's bolted on, and you can see the piece of plate stuck down between the two of them. It just fits in there. So that's one of the ways that I check them. The other way is you can stack feeler gauges and stick them down in there and then do the math and get it. But this is basically the way that I'm going to do it. I've already marked this out, so I'm fixing to go over. I'm going to drill the 2 bolt holes, and then I'm going to probably drill 4 holes in the corners, and then I'll take my cutter and cut it out and shape it up. I'm going to go drill the holes, and then I'll show you some of the cutting. Alright, after fighting with a dull drill bit, I sharpened it and got all the holes drilled. And you see what I'm going to do. I just drilled 4 in the corner, and I'm going to try to cut across them. This is not easy. There are better ways to do this. This is one way to do it. Tile cutter, and go through here like this. As you can see, it starts cutting. It is not an easy task. So you can't get it too hot or it sticks. So you can tell when it's getting too hot. The higher the quality of the aluminum, the better off you are too. So now I'm not going to sit here and make y'all listen to all that, because, well, for one, it's too hot now, so I'm going to have to let it sit there and cool off for a minute. It's just, this is what it is. You just got to cut it out. I'll show you what it looks like when we get it done. Alright. It ain't perfectly centered, but it matches the gasket. That's the main thing. So that ought to take care of that. Now, the other thing is this hole right here is stripped. So I'm gonna pull this off. We're gonna helicoil this hole. I'm gonna keep an eye on the time. This might wind up being a multi-part instead of just one. But see, this will actually, this is gonna go right here on the back of the muffler, and I'll open the back of the muffler up just a little bit because I gotta raise that just a hair, and just raise them screw holes just a smidge, and then that'll be there. Now, for some reason, and I don't know why, this hole is stripped. I need to just dump this over into this other bag because it's got holes in it, and I just throwed the whole thing in there. We're just going to do that. Get that out of the way. For those of y'all that don't know, this is my by 0.80 helicoil bag, what I keep my helicoils in. And I do have other bunches of them. I do have another thing, but for the most part I keep them in this one. If I'm only doing case boats or something like that, I prefer to do it this way, because I don't have to go hunting the helicoil. I got the tap right here, and I'm going to show you the improper way to do this. Maybe this is going to be, it's going to require a little setup, so yeah, give me a second. All right. We're gonna take this drill bit, just kind of open the case up just a little bit. I had to go find a tap extender, because it hits the thing, so I'm just going to try to get it in there as straight as possible. It's that simple. You just have to be cautious. I don't know if I can actually get y'all around here where y'all can see it or not. I don't think it'll make a whole lot of difference. There's the hole right there. Now, we're going to take our helicoil. For any of y'all that have never seen a helicoil, this is a helicoil. It's a little spring. It's got a slot, and that little tab fits over the slot, and that holds it. So put it to the hole, and you just carefully start turning it. And if you're lucky and everything's worked out just right, it screws the helicoil in there. And you can get it back out. You can get your tool back out. There you go. Now, you're supposed to, once you screw the cord in there, you're supposed to pop it backwards, and that's supposed to break the tab off, so the screw will run through. And then I try to blow it out of there. Sometimes they come out, sometimes they do not. I don't see it in there, so maybe it blowed out. Maybe it's just laying back up in there. But that's how you put a helicoil in. And I know there's going to be people in the comment section that starts hollering about putting time certs in and stuff like that. And while I have used some time certs, I'm not the biggest fan of time certs. I just don't like them that much. They do have a place. I 100% agree that they do belong in certain places. But muffler bolts and stuff like that, more than likely, if you was going to try to put a time cert into this one, as thin as the case is right here, it would just blow out the side. So yes, I do use time certs occasionally, but I do not keep them in stock. I never have, and I probably never will. But I have used them. Most of the time, if a hole's messed up that bad, I don't normally use a time cert. I usually make a Stihl insert and thread it myself, and I just make the whole thing. And I set it in there with a wire. I put it in there, and then drill down the side of it and drive a wire in it, but I usually put it in with green Loctite and do that. If I need to make a very serious repair, most of the helicoils that we use are just to replace these bolts like this. They're plenty adequate enough that what I like about a helicoil is if you use a helicoil and you happen to mess it up, you can always go back to a time cert. But if you do the time cert first and mess up, then you're in deep. Because once you make that hole so big, you're in a place where you have to make some type of commitment to it. So that's why I don't use time certs to start with. If it's bad enough that I need a time cert, we'll use one. Otherwise, I use a helicoil to start with and then go from there. But that's how that goes. Let me see if I can find a screw and we'll put this muffler on. All right. I don't know how much cleaner that looks to y'all, but it's a lot cleaner. I did go in there and open up that hole a little bit. And I put the spark arrestor back in. I don't normally care for a spark arrestor. I don't. But sometimes these things are they're in other states, and I don't know what the what kind of stuff they have to deal with there. So I didn't leave the Sparky out of it because I want to make sure they're able to run it. Trying to figure out which screws would be the best ones to use, because I think one of these screws was the wrong one. I don't have another one that I know of. Three, four. Yeah, that's all of them. I'd like to have another one of the ones that's a little bit longer. But we're gonna stick this rascal on here and see how it does. I'm gonna use the two longest ones I got. This muffler's been on and off before, so it's a little bit the screws has been in and out of it before, so I'm not exactly sure what screws they used. Couldn't get my bit started in there. Oh, that fits on there pretty nice. I like to just start these screws in the hole. Whenever I go to put these steel mufflers on, if you've not watched me do one before, usually when I get ready to put the muffler on, I put them two screws in right there. Then I tighten these two up. And I take these back out. Yeah. I'm gonna have to find find the two small screws, because apparently I don't know what I've done with those. Oh, there they are. I know. The video is going to be too long. We're going to go ahead and see if these two bottom bolts fit now. That one's in. That one's in. Now the muffler's on there like it's supposed to be. Y'all can see the shim gasket between the muffler and the cylinder. They wanted to know if I could put a decomp in this thing too, so I'm looking, but it does not appear to be. I don't really see room to put one in it. I don't think the head's actually thick enough to thread one into it. But, all right, we got that done. We're gonna try to see if we can get this thing running. So let me get some stuff. All right, I'm not gonna film all of this because we just done a video on carburetors. This is it's a lot like a WJ Walbro. It is. It's a WJ6A. Basically the same as the 372 X-Torque carb. He got a new kit to go in this thing. The kit that's in it does not feel bad. So I'm hoping that there isn't something else that we don't have. But I wanted to show it to you. It's pretty clean. I haven't cleaned it since I took the covers off. I just rinsed the outside of it off with brake cleaner. You know, I mean, it don't look that bad on the inside. I'm just gonna wash these holes out, blow it out the air hose, change the needle and stuff, and set it up. I'm gonna go ahead and finish stripping it apart, and then we'll film putting it back together maybe. Well, I might not film all this because we do have other things to do I didn't think of. Got a fuel line to put in. There's a pulse line. 2 new gaskets. He's got a new air filter, a new secondary filter. Of course, I know some people like long videos, some people don't. I should have done opened this. Sometimes these things are in a change of events, there is no needle, so yeah, there's not a new needle in here for it. So all right, let me see what I got. Okay, so there wasn't a needle and there wasn't a screen. I found the screen. I got some Walbro kits behind me, so I just looked in there because I don't always use all the parts out of them. So there's a brand new screen, and I just so happen to have a brand new Walbro needle. So we're gonna see if we can't stick it back on there, and we're just gonna use the same little flapper that was on there. It's thundering now. We got some rain coming. I can't turn it where y'all can see. I need to redesign my table, I guess, because where it's at, it just makes it impossible for me to film it the way I want to. We're going to do a little adjusting here. Good. There we go. We got the needle in there. I should be talking because y'all can't see nothing, I don't think. Are you not entertained? I know, you're just sitting there watching my hands. Let me put this carburetor together and we'll see if we can change the fuel line and stuff. Alright, I got her stuck back together. So, let's get old Krusty back up here. I want to change the pulse line for some reason. I don't know why. This doesn't look bad, but they're not the easiest to change. We'll see what we can do. And the fuel line is not the right one either. Fuel line looks, well, I just knocked that out. Fuel line looks to be one for a 660, which is not the same as the 064. So I don't know if the pulse line is the same or not. And I can tell you the end is made different. So, okay. We're not going to do that right now, because those lines are not the right ones. We don't want to put them in there and they'd be wrong. But what we do want to do is turn this over. Let's see if we can get the gas cap off of it. Yeah, that gas line's completely different. We're going to try to get it running first, because right now that gas line ain't the right one and it's not going to fit in there. And the one that's in there, if I try to change the fuel filter, we might wind up tearing it up, and I don't want to do that. So we're going to Slap this carburetor back on here right quick with the new gasket. We'll put the pull start cover on it. We're going to put some gas in it. We'll see if it'll run. Just want to make sure that looks good. It does. We're going to put the new gasket on there. Slip the new freshly repaired carburetor on there. This thing you have to push the throttle down. Then you can push the throttle linkage over and let go of it. And when you get it in the right place, then the throttle works. So we got that, that's good. Staple through the package. Yes, there's that. Just gonna take this and try to hook up the fuel line right quick. The fuel line has definitely shrunk, but it's a little bit short. But I think it's good enough we can do something with it. We're going to slap her back together and give it a shot anyway. Because I know you fellers want to hear it run. As do I. Everybody likes these old 64s. They like to see them run them and all that good stuff. So we're going to see if we can get it to run. And in his letter, he sent me a little letter with it. He said that they'd set 8 years and that they'd tried to get it run and it didn't do anything. So tuck this rubber piece back in here because it's easier to adjust on the carburetor when they're in there. All right. Change the spark plug. I am going to blow down in the cylinder because I washed it. I washed it with a bunch of brake cleaner. Oh yeah. We're going to put the new plug in. Gap looks pretty good. They got a brand new Denso, I think. Now this is a Bosch. These are the blue Bosch plugs, not the old green ones, so I like these. They don't look like them old blue or them old green ones that didn't have much to them. So, yeah. All right, let's put the side cover on. We'll see what happens. Give me a minute, I'm going to clean this out. Alright. That's the bad thing about this wrap bar. It sits on the table right in the way. Now I'm going to put a lot of gas in this thing because the fuel filter's hanging up off the bottom by a little bit. So we're going to make sure it has the opportunity to get some gas We are going to snug it up with a wrench, because all y'all that have these Stihls with screw-on caps know that you crank them, that cap vibrates loose and falls out. And I've had it happen to me on every one I've ever had. So somebody says, well, they don't never fall out. Not in my experience. That's why I like the flippy caps. They don't normally fall out. Alright. I have not started this thing. I don't know what it's going to do. We're going to try and crank it right now. I got the choke on, trying to move my chair out of the way. I'm pretty sure that was a fluke from all the brake cleaner. So we're going to give him a little snort, since we know the fuel line ain't the best in the world. Before that goes flying. Well, it runs. Actually sounds pretty good. The muffler fits good now. And she sounds pretty good. Alright. Alright, Russell. Holler at me. I sent you a message to see what you wanted to do for sure. I read your message, but I want to make sure before I say I'm done with it. But it does crank and run now, so we'll let her sit for a little while, and I'll try firing it back up after a while. And I'll fix that screw and stuff over there and a few other things. So, all right, y'all. Well, this one's long enough. I think we'll let it go. Don't forget, look down in the description below. You can find our YouTube or our Facebook channel, The Hopper Nation, or Hopper Nation, and our apparel store. So, we're going to let it go at that. Y'all have a good day. Stay safe, be kind, treat each other the way you want to be treated. God bless. Bell Hopper out.